There we go, you're.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
How's everybody's
Hi.
week been?
Good.
How's your week been?
Good.
Good. Everybody have a good week? Yeah.
Yep.
Work. Hi. Has work been busy for everyone?
Yeah.
Good. And did you find that in your work you were able to apply some of the things that we've been learning over the last 2 sessions? Okay, that's great. It's good to know because we try to keep it fairly practical so that you can use the skills in your workplace. So we're just going to do a little revision on what we covered last week very briefly before we start looking at what we're going to do this week. So last week what we covered was we shared with each other how we could further develop our attitudes and approaches when working with people with disabilities. We broke into our pairs, we discussed that, and we came up with quite a few things, and we brainstormed it as well. We went over some of the terminology, didn't we? So Gay, what does duty of care mean? Do you remember?
It's obligation to make sure that the person that you're looking after or with has the right sort of support.
Yep.
Yes.
That's right. So they've got the right support and they're okay.
Yes.
Yeah, duty of care. That's right. Your duty to care.
To
That they're
make
okay.
sure that they're okay and
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a fly around here. We're all batting away.
There was.
Thanks, Gay. Okay, and Dave, let's see. What word shall I give you to let me know that you,
Don't pick the hard one.
which one you, yeah, okay. How about, dignity of risk, Dave?
I think it's about the concept of affording people with disability the right to take a reasonable risk.
That's right, exactly. And I like how you said afford them. That's really, really good wording. Okay, Wayne, active citizenship. What does that mean to you, active citizenship?
Allowing to be forthright in the community,
Yep.
letting them, a centred approach to direct support to ensure that the people even most significant in the disability is ongoing. So
Yeah.
allowing them to be part of the community and
Part of the community in all the ways that everybody else gets to be part of the community, with education, with entertainment, with all the different things that we do. Yep, very good. Okay, and Michelle, let's see, what will I give you? Supported decision making, Michelle, what does that mean?
Okay. When the person has the backup or support of family members or their support workers in making their own decisions.
Yeah.
So allowing them the ability to make their own decisions with regards to their own life.
That's right.
So yeah,
With the support.
with support.
With
yeah.
support. Obviously, without the support, they couldn't do
Couldn't
it.
do it,
So
that's right.
it's
So,
with
yeah.
support because it's needed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If
that's
they wanted to jump out of the plane, do it as a tandem jump, and then you need the support worker to be there at the bottom to wait for them.
Yep, that's right. You work it out, don't you? Just like
You
we
do.
all do. We all work things out in life so that we can make decisions. So that's exactly right. Okay. So this week we are going to look more at some of the terminology that we covered last week, and we're going to focus a lot on supported decision making, which is why I asked Michelle for that term, and also person-centered approaches to working with people with disabilities. So that's the kind of stuff we're going to get into, and we're also going to have a lot of fun today because we're actually going to play a game.
Yeah.
Everybody loves games, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, we're going to play a game a little bit later, so you have that to look forward to. Okay, now you had some homework last week, and it was to write out a little sheet about, I'm just looking it up here to get the wording right. Oh, write out and reflect on indicators of possible abuse and or neglect that you have witnessed or heard about towards people with disabilities, and how should this be dealt with. So what I would like you to do now is to just work with a partner and talk about what you've come up with during the week. And then we'll just get each group to have a spokesperson just to give us a quick little rundown of the types of things you discussed. So I'll just give you 5 minutes to do that.
So So I guess one of the biggest things you notice is physical abuse, and you see marks on the person where they've been maybe they've been held around the wrist and dragged along when they've been out shopping or whatever. That's a big one. That's a big one. Bruises. Yep. From physical
Write down
abuse.
and reflect, so you should have done this week. So we're talking about indicators?
Possible.
Yeah, you've got to shoot it. So just to talk about.
They may, resign, close down,
Yeah, they withdraw. Yeah, that's or they
they
don't.
may cower, it's horrible.
They don't want to go out with that person. Like the support worker comes and they're like, no, I don't want
Yeah,
to go.
yeah,
Don't want to
they
go.
play out, they become
Yeah.
aggressive, yeah,
Yeah,
they don't wanna go.
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So now, just
Um,
feel with
So if they find that
Yeah.
body language is like scared, withdrawn, yeah, they
Yeah.
get swap or talk.
maybe you can change your
With the financial abuse, they may not want to go out shopping with a support worker. They might hide their money or
Yes.
that sort of thing, because the support workers using their money to buy themselves a coffee and
Yeah.
things like that when they take them out, or they use them to buy their lunch, that sort of thing. So, yeah. Because that's
Yes, so just some
exactly
of
the
those
same as
indicators
well.
that you guys might have seen
Yeah.
around in the
It's elderly
community.
abuse.
Yeah, like power abuse as well.
Yeah, even
Child abuse.
financial, even
Child abuse.
financial,
Child
so you
abuse.
see
Elderly,
around in there, it's not
all
just,
exactly the
it's
same.
And
not
unfortunately,
just
it all
physical.
happens.
You'll
Yeah, it
see,
does.
when you
It
read
does.
those things,
It's
you'll
sad, but it
be able to
does.
picture what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Emotional abuse, so when someone
Yeah.
comes, when the support worker comes and
Yeah, probably
the
financial abuse is
person's
quite
like
obvious, right?
starts to become really anxious
Well,
or
withdrawn
jittery.
physically itself,
You know,
just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
physically,
yeah,
you
yeah,
can see
yeah.
thing totally.
So
Yeah.
Smell.
when they get yelled at, so they might have a support worker that yells at them, so, and they feel threatened by that.
Financial abuse is an interesting one,
It is.
and I've seen that in action
So
before,
have I.
where I've been
Heard
with
of it.
somebody, and as soon as the brother, for example, walks in, the girl's run over and grabbed her purse, because he's been hitting her up for money to go buy drugs or things like that, and nobody knows, but you see that happen and you go, something's wrong here,
Yeah,
and then that's the kind of thing you would report to your supervisor.
yeah.
And there's also something like very simple, right, on a Thursday, there seems to be a lot of support workers take their disabled, the person they're looking after that day, they all meet at a food court or whatever,
Right.
and the support worker will use the disabled person's money to pay for their cup of coffee. It might
No
only
way, really?
Yes, I've seen it. It might
Yeah.
only be $5, but that's
Yeah.
not the point. They don't have the
No.
right to do
No,
that.
they
If they
don't.
want a coffee,
That's horrible.
they need to
Yeah,
pay for it.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So you see,
Or
yeah,
they
that's
go
right.
to that buffet thing where you load up your plate with as much food as you can, and then they sit there and share it.
Yeah.
It's not theirs to share.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's right.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's an
Yeah.
example of financial abuse, that's
Yeah.
exactly right. Okay, so I'll just get a spokesman from each group, just to stand up, and, maybe stand up, Gay, have a bit of a stretch, and give us an idea of what you guys talked about with that.
We were talking about the physical abuse, or neglect, that when you notice that, the person has probably got dirty hair and they smell, and you know that they're not being showered regularly,
Yes.
and it's quite obvious that something's deteriorated there, and that's worrying because it's taking away their dignity
That's exactly
and
right,
respect.
Yeah.
It means also that they're not respected.
that's very true. That's very true, and if people see them out in the community like that,
Yeah,
they don't wanna be near them because of the smell.
yeah.
and they don't know what else they're gonna find, you know,
Yes,
around them.
exactly, yeah.
So it's really important that they be kept
Yes.
in modern
Yes,
clothes,
yes,
and look good, and have their
Yeah.
hair done,
yeah.
and that they're clean,
And,
Yeah. kept clean.
also, the thing is too, is sometimes people with disabilities have to wear a pad.
Yes.
And the fact that that's not changed regularly, and so that physical abuse is happening to their body, but it's not something that anybody can see.
No, that's right.
They can
It's
just
neglect.
smell it.
Yeah, it's
But
neglect.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yep, that's right. What about you guys? What did you
Think
think of?
So, we discussed pretty much all of the abuses, but I think the one that stood out for us was the physical abuse. And it can be things just like, bruising on the wrists, where
Yeah.
the support worker is grabbing the person
Yeah.
and dragging them along, like, come on, hurry up, you know, we've got to get this done so we can get back and do this, or this. Also, you know, the disabled person might sort of start to shrink away or cower a
Yeah,
bit,
that's
you
a
know.
real sign.
Yeah, they, any loud noises,
Yeah.
like they're very anxious and jumpy and so
That's
things
right,
like
and they
that.
don't really know how to fake it.
No,
So
no,
that's
they
real,
don't.
you
It's
know,
real.
that's how they're
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
feeling.
It's a real effect of what's happening around them. So there could be any kind of bruising all over their body. I
Yeah.
mean, could be anything.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
it's a big, physical abuse is a big one.
It is. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing that any of it goes on, but
Yeah.
it's important to be aware of it, to be aware of it, so that
I've
you
seen
can
it.
watch for the
Yeah.
indicators, and that's
Yeah.
why it's important for everybody to be aware of the indicators, so that you can watch out in the community, or if you've got a relative, or and you know, the same thing would go for the elderly. What
Yes.
we're talking about now,
Yes.
these things, they're all relevant. Well, even kids.
Kids, yes.
Even kids, they're gonna act those same ways, if things are happening, and so it's a good idea just to be aware and watch out, be alert. Australia always wants more people to be alert, everyone does, it
And
needs to
it's
be.
not just in lower socio-economic
That's a
side,
good point.
that this happens in all levels of society,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, it does, for sure, yeah. All right, now it's important, so we've discussed some of these indicators. It's important to let people know, or family members know if the person themselves are not able to find out about these things, but to know about advocacy, and to know that there are places that you can go out there, and there's places you can go for free. The place that I worked at last year was a free service to anybody with disabilities or mental health issues, and it was pure advocacy. So it was what they call individual advocacy, so it was for one person.
So could the support worker go in there if they notice that something else, like if something's going on with that disabled person in the home, can the support worker then go and get help for that person?
That's an interesting one. We never had that happen.
Okay.
We only ever had parents or the person themselves actually, I forget what the word's called, but actually, you know, connected with us. Probably with that, if that call came through to us, we would be referring them on to an actual abuse place.
Okay, yeah.
Because there's a lot of those around.
Yeah.
And we weren't really, that wasn't our real thing. We were more, well, I mean, we would do anything, but we would refer them if it was something so specific as that. But anyway, there's everything from helping them to do paperwork, to help them to apply for the disability support pension,
Yeah.
help them if they're being ripped off, you know, and being mistreated and
Yeah.
things like that. So sometimes the police would be involved and different things would be involved.
Mm.
But if it fell into an exact category, then they'd be referred to somebody who that was their exact things so that you aren't wasting your time, you know, but yeah. So there are places out there, and it's important that whoever is supporting the person, if it's particularly a family member, because anybody that's working as a support, employed as a support worker, will know all about this kind of stuff. And so with the company that they work for, the organization that they work for, will have connections to places like this. But it's the mom and dad that are out there working with the person, and somebody's not treating them right and things like that. That's when they would go to advocacy. So there is assistance out there, and it's really good if people can get on to that. The sooner the better. So that's an important thing to any of your clients that you're working with disabilities. If you're working also with their family, with a mom or dad usually, then it's important to find out where the local advocacy agencies are, so that they've got it out there if they should need it. Okay. All right, we're going to do a fun little activity. This is a role-playing activity, and we touched on this stuff last week when we were together. We were talking about communication skills and active listening. Remember, we were talking about active listening, person-centered approach, focusing on the person, showing them that you are paying attention, that you're focused, you're not thinking about something else. So we're just going to role play that. So I'm just going to give you 5 minutes, and let's see what I've got here. So role play to encourage communication. So maybe pretend one of you doesn't speak very much. Okay, it's very hard to pretend anything else. We're not really going to pretend much else about intellectual disability, but one person's just not really able to communicate very well. And then you've got the other person, mainstream person, if you like. So you can decide who's going to be what. Maybe you do a couple of minutes of each of you.
I'll be the quiet one.
You'll be the quiet one. Okay. So I actually want you to get up and leave the desks, and maybe you can go sit on the couch or look out the window, whatever you want to do. And I want to see you encouraging that person to communicate and not overtake their communication. I'll give you 5 minutes, and I'd like you each to be the mainstream person, and each to be the person with the disability. All right.
No, we're not in that window here. Okay. Well, I'll be the quiet one, you can talk, of course.
Hello, Gwen. How are you today? Are you good? Good?
Okay. Are you listening to me?
Okay. I just thought that because we're in such a lovely setting, how about you come have a look out the window? There's a yacht out there with some big boats. You know the big boats that bring the, no? Well, you're not feeling like moving anywhere?
Feel like
Have you been busy
don't have
this
to
morning?
do nothing.
So you, is there anything that would you feel that would just like to go for a try? Then I'll make you a cup of coffee.
Is he being difficult?
Yeah, very. That's reality, Gay, let me tell you.
No.
Do a shake his head.
No.
Oh, look, this is
Say
an
waves.
ocular surgery. Would you like to
Okay.
try them? And then you can stay
How does
there,
that make you feel?
but you can see.
Oh, this one.
Come and get them and you can have a look. It'll be exciting. Binoculars. But you've got to put that round your neck just in
And
case
to
they
the yellow posts.
That's what
And
my
the yellow
father
posts.
always used to say to me. Hey. Put the
Now, you other four people over there in the corner, I've been noticing that you haven't been doing much talking, so I want you guys to do it over here. The other four.
Oh, yes, they haven't done anything,
Well,
have
they're
they?
being-
Not
They're being
really.
very quiet over here in the corner.
Yeah.
I want them to participate better.
Isn't that exciting, guys? Does it make you see the people up close?
No.
No? That clip out there, what was
I'm looking the wrong way. I want you to swap now if you haven't, and one of you lead, now you lead,
The difficult one.
you were great, Dave.
Yeah, that's right, the boat is right.
Okay, now this other lot over here, how are you guys going?
I was,
Yeah?
I was copying my
You're
kid.
not- You're finding it hard?
Wow, look at this boat.
Yeah, no, it's been tricky.
I was talking about little boy today.
Okay, gang, now you're the difficult one.
What else can you see up there?
Fishing and driving.
Hello, how are you, Gay?
What does that warning sign say? Can
Okay,
you
what's
see
wrong?
That warning sign?
No fishing or driving.
You don't look fine today. How come you're so quiet today, Gay? Huh? Is there anything I can do for you, Gay?
No,
Any
I
water,
think it says
glass
no
of water, coffee or tea?
Driving.
Hmm? Do you wanna go for a walk on the
No
beach
diving.
or
Like driving.
you don't want
Oh,
to do
it's like
anything?
like the flowers in a basket.
So,
It's
for
so
nothing,
tall.
well, do you watch TV or something or?
No,
You don't like TV, so what do you like, Gay? What do you like?
Morning, no driving